Okay, welcome back to the Rock and Roll channel. Yes, the lovely lady to my right, her left, or however you're viewing it on your TV or computer device is the one, the only Jenn Santee from the Renegade Report, the Renegade Roast. She's made appearances on Big 12 Mafia. You see on YouTube, if it's something Florida State related, she has probably visited there before and given her amazing insight. So we're honored to have her here for the first time. It's been a long time in the making to
Mhm.
make this happen. So Jenn, welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here and thank you so much.
Please, it's
Yes, it
long
has been a
overdue.
long time, in the making.
It really
The
has been.
ice, the snow, the changes in schedules. So, yeah, absolutely.
Vince, what's up, brother?
Hey, Vince.
Just got off his show and he made an appearance here. Um, so we were talking about what to talk about just now, everyone, and we realized that maybe it's a couple months old, some of these topics, but we have not discussed any of it.
Yeah.
Not not on Twitter, in a message, not on a phone call, not on here. So you're gonna hear it kind of like from our as if it just happened, this news in a way, which will be cool because it's fresh and we haven't at all said what we think of any of these new hires and changes at Florida State and what's been going on there. So we'll get right to it. Obviously, Mike Norvell needed to make some changes after our
Ugh.
wonderful year last year. Um, what was your opinion on Gus Malzahn, Tony White, the guys Tony brought in? What was your take on those hires? Did you think Gus would be the guy? Did you have other guys in mind?
So, I think the wide receiver coach, obviously, I don't think that was the first choice. Let's just be honest here. And their first choice just got let go from the Patriots, right? Underwood, Taekwon Underwood. I believe that is.
From
Oh
Pittsburgh, you
Lord,
mean? Uh oh.
huh?
It's his first appearance here. I wonder why. He only lives right down the road from me.
So yeah, I think even
We
though
are
I do
KC.
think Harris is a great choice, I wonder if some things went a little different had we not had our first choice at that point. But again, at the end of the day, I do like that the coaching staff is familiar with each other with the
Yeah.
Harris choice, Han, and Gus Malzahn. Now, I do love Gus Malzahn for Mike Norvell because I think Mike Norvell trusts Gus Malzahn.
Yeah.
And
Good point.
this was who taught him a lot of things. I feel like if Gus Malzahn left the head coaching job at UCF, and I get it with UCF fans, they say he was going to get fired. I don't believe that that's true.
But it's possible.
And yeah, I think that was not true at all. And for anybody to say that Herb Hand was not the first choice in an offensive line coach, I think you're absolutely wrong. I think Herb Hand's camp thought that he may have been in the mix for the head coaching job at UCF. That's why he wasn't announced right away. Um, because if they didn't get Scott Frost or whatever it is, however it was that went back, that was their points as to why he hadn't accepted the job yet, which meant, Mike did kick the tires on the SMU offensive line coach. That is true.
Yeah.
But I don't think Herb Hand was his first choice,
Mhm.
by the way, which I love. I think Herb Hand was the only choice. I would not have liked the SMU offensive line coach. I think that would have been a bad choice.
Simmons,
I
right?
think that would have been another Alex Atkins, and I don't have to get back into my
Oh, no, you won't.
issues here. Let's not do it. You know
No.
how I feel about it. Jeremy knows. I've been saying this for years.
Yeah. She
It
said
is
it
a
when it was
problem with
unpopular
me.
to say that. Not to cut you off there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was the
Absolutely.
uncool thing to say. You did say that. I have to give you your flowers there.
Yes. So nobody can come at me for anything else I've said because it's a wash. It's a wash because I was right about Alex Atkins, and that's 100% true. But I think you see her band, get hired. You see assistant coaches like Cooper Williams come back.
Yeah.
And there was a reason those coaches left.
Oh, that's true.
These guys were really helping with, you know, development and some, not really recruiting, but they were helping with everything off the field, on the field. And there were people that left that have now come back. And I think we have to look at this. Herb Hand, and I want to say anybody who wants to watch Robert Cooper's and Christian Meadows' show, Christian
Great
Meadows, when
guys.
he heard it was Herb Hand, he was like, let's go. Like, look, you want your offensive line coach to be a military guy, right?
Yeah.
You don't want him to sit there and play Xbox with you or PlayStation or whatever it is the kids are playing. You can't be a friend, right?
Yeah.
And I think we're looking at that with Tony White.
Oh,
I
I was going to get
think
into
I
him.
am loving all of the new hires. I understand people are underwhelmed with the wide receiver hire, but I think it's going to work well because they worked good together, if
And
that
Gus
makes
hired him.
sense.
Right. No, it does because Gus has hired him 3 times.
Yep,
So he knows
a
the
hundred
system.
percent.
And I don't know how familiar you are with Dade County recruiting. I am. Not that I was recruited here, but being from here, Dade County is this area is, you have to have connections. And it's a very, I don't want to say cliquey, but you can't just be a good recruiter and walk in here and get players. And he is like the son of the Godfather down here, Ice Hairs. So he has
Oh yeah,
tons of connections. He's going to open doors for us in Dade County that we haven't had in years. So it's going to help Sertan here. It's going to help Evan Cooper here, who has tons of connections. So you know what, Tim Harris, teach him how to catch a ball.
absolutely.
Tell him what Gus wants to do, and recruit your tail off, and we're fine. Because what have we complained most about the receivers until this year was recruiting.
Well, and they couldn't catch the ball, but
That
that's
was
fine.
this year. That was really this year where it was
Oh, okay.
just we said we wouldn't. Yeah,
I
but
know he said we would do
I
it.
know, but it's
We would
going
do
to happen every time you talk about it. Last year's automatically going to come up. But yeah, so that's why I think the Harris thing is fine. And you know what? I would rather a guy who might not be as good as another receivers coach, who
Yeah.
Gus doesn't have to teach the system to. Then
Yeah,
you can go down the
absolutely.
spring. And same with
I mean,
Herb Hand. Like, people don't realize that Herb knows everything Gus wants. Herb knows every language, every measurable, everything. It's like a turnkey thing there.
look at the offensive linemen that love Herb Hand.
Hmm.
I think that is just the definition of how good of a hire this was. And again, for Florida State fans, just being like, oh, that was like his third or fourth choice. No, this was their number one choice. I'm going to say it again.
Yeah.
It was the number one choice. It's the best choice they could have made, especially with Gus's offense,
Right.
and that Gus is going to be your offensive coordinator. And by the way, you got a Big 12 head coach that wasn't going to get fired to become your offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. I think we caught it at the right time where
Yeah,
Gus
absolutely.
doesn't want to deal with NIL in the portal anymore.
Yeah. Who
And we're
would?
setting it up for him where you don't even have to coach a position.
Yep.
You don't have to go on the road and recruit. Just coach
Oh
ball.
no, he's recruit. He's going to be
He has
recruiting.
in the early period.
Yeah.
He is, but as
Yeah.
the summer goes and later in the spring, he's not going to go on the road and recruit. We'll have people because now the rules have changed. You can send lots of other people, like Ernie
Yeah.
Sims. Maybe he's like assistant linebacker coach, but he can go on the road. So now that's why we're making it like us. Just do the one thing you're good at. Managing a team, probably not your thing, but running an offense you can do.
Yeah.
And we know Mike can be a little.
Can we just ask us not to wear the Dickies? That's all I need. I don't need Dickies on the sideline in Tallahassee like he did at Auburn. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. But you know what? If he's in the booth, who cares what he's wearing? He just wants to go underwear and he leads some touchdowns for Castellanos. I can live with that. So I wonder if he's
True.
going to be on the field or not, though. I think he will be,
I think he's going to be on the field.
Yeah.
I 100% do.
which
Yeah.
is fun. But then I'd be a little surprised too because Mike's going to be in the headset doing stuff with him. Someone has to be above. I guess they put toe cards up there.
I think
I'm surprised.
there's no way he's not going to be on the field for the Bama game.
No, he has to be.
That could be your test. That's going to be the test to see if
That's
he's either
true.
going to be up. Yeah, I
That's a
feel
good
like
point.
he's going to be the Bama guy on the sidelines at that moment for sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
I agree because you don't have a warm-up game to see what works.
Yep.
And speaking of that, you don't have a spring game either to see what works.
I know.
So, what's your opinion on it? Like, I'm curious if I'm the only one that's really livid about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's so much fun for the fans to all get together and us do like tailgates and have fun and drink together and do whatever. But I mean, I get it this year. I think last year I think they feel like maybe the opening of Bama, you don't want to be Miami. Like, we made fun of Miami, like for real, like going to the high school stadiums,
Well, they
right?
went to the soccer field on campus.
Whichever, tomato. I mean, I
Yes.
get it that they don't even have their own field to begin with, but like, it's you can't just go to like another stadium and then continue on that sort of amazing clout that you have over them, right? I feel like you just couldn't do it. You can't do it. You can't go to a different stadium. If you do, you better fill that up. And I just don't know after a 2-10 year that you could guarantee that you would fill it up.
I mean, you could have gone to Orlando. You could have gone to Tampa.
I get it.
And I'm sure
Not
FAMU.
from the panhandle. I mean, I get it.
That's fine.
I
But
get
then
it.
you have more people from South Florida. Like they had 40,000 there in 2016 for the spring game. I understand we weren't coming off 2-10, but
Yeah,
you got Orlando with the
I think
largest
that
alumni
was the
base.
issue. I think
More,
that's the issue.
yeah, you have so much accessibility in Orlando that you don't have in Tallahassee. It's a good time to go there. You bring battles in there. They can have events in Orlando and raise funds because you're asking the fans for more money now for a lot less. Yeah, I agree with your cohort here. We're packing that spring game regardless. He's right. If we had in Orlando, I'm telling you, so many people from South Florida would have made the trip there that don't want to drive 7-8 hours to Tallahassee. I think that's a big misstep. Now, I heard one thing. You might know the guy from Locked On Seminole podcast, who's not a Norvell apologist. He thinks that they don't want film from the new staff out. Probably.
I've heard that too.
Who knows? I mean, you can't
Especially with your opening game is Bama. Could this be like a Gus Malzahn idea? Could it be?
Tony White.
I don't know. And then at the end of the day, the spring game really is just they didn't do anything really last year. It's really for the fans.
Yeah.
That's to be fair. And could they put on something for what?
Hey, Tony had people believe that we're like winning the national title this year.
I know.
Yeah, he's good at that.
I know.
But I think it's a huge misstep. I really do. Now, my thing is, if Mike had been a proponent of the spring game over the years and embraced it, I would have chalked it up to logistics for whatever reason.
But he doesn't like it.
Hated the spring game.
Yeah.
So this was an excuse for him to get what he wanted.
Yep. And I think that Mike learned it from someone, and I think you can see who our new offensive coordinator is. I don't think Gus Malzahn wanted it either. I think what they could have done is maybe just introduce the players, maybe had the fans still come out and done something, but then it still wouldn't have been the same, right?
Mhm.
So I think they were in a catch-22. I don't think they want to open up Bama and lose. I really don't.
No.
And for whatever reason, they feel like showing anybody or doing something could be a tip of the hat. Whether I believe it or you believe it.
Yeah.
I love to be a conspiracy theorist. I am someone who believes in luck. So if that's what they want, hey, if you open up and beat Bama, I'm fine with you getting rid of the spring game. There you go.
You know what? Then I want it across the board. I want no media at practices.
I agree with you.
And
100%.
I love War Chant. I love all those guys. I'm old school. I don't need to read every day Hakeem Williams caught 2 passes in 2-point drills.
I also don't need you to tell the world that Tate Rodemaker was in,
Oh, concussion protocol.
concussion protocols.
Yeah. No,
Like,
that
we
was a
don't need
mistake, but
this.
it's happened 3 or 4 times.
A
Egregious.
million, yeah, 100%.
And I understand that was the one rule Mike had was don't report injuries. And I think it was 3 rules. Don't report injuries, don't give out depth chart information, and don't give like formations. And it's
Yep.
happened at least once of each. I'm tired of it. I don't and you know what? The fans don't care. I've never heard one fan say, "I'm so glad the media gets access," and we hear all this stuff.
No. We're like,
Because we're
what are
not
you
learning
talking about?
anything.
Why are you telling us this? We don't want to know this.
We don't want to know it. And then with Mike, it should be a concert in new numbers. How does a 6'5" guy in a tiny hat? We can just put not Alex Atkins on him. Not Alex. But no, that's my thing is I don't like the whole thing is because Mike controls things that way. I mean, I get he's the coach
Yeah.
and everything, but the media, they used to report more, not covering practice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I don't have jokes, Tiny Hat. I love you, man. I don't, man. Really don't. You're a lot bigger than me, and you live near me.
Y'all can be friends.
Yes, we're all friends. But I don't like it. I really don't. I've been adamant about it. Name one school that does that.
Yeah.
I don't mind if you do the first 10, 15 minutes of warm-ups. Tiny Hat, what do you think about media covering practice? Let me know.
I think it's horrible. I mean, yeah.
don't like
I
it.
think we all agree. I think
I
we
think
all
it was
agree.
cute at first, and then it got old.
Like, Jimbo had none of it.
No, he let you the first 10 minutes at the most.
That's it.
And it was just warm-ups, catch a couple passes, and then you got to go.
But I think, like, Mike got, like, this bad rap, because Willie just let everybody in on everything.
No, he didn't.
Did he not?
Oh, Willie was tight. Mike's been the only coach.
What happened with Willie then? Because, like, media was reporting that, like, he would show up and, well,
In the
did he?
warm-ups.
Oh,
In the pre-stuff, they could see.
maybe
then
I've
they
just,
crash
like,
reviews.
absolutely forgotten it because it was
Yeah,
that
I
bad.
remember because there was one day at practice where half the team came in pants and half came out in shorts because they got it all screwed up. Like, yeah, I agree. Tiny Hat, we're all
Yeah.
agree. Like, it
Yeah,
does.
I
They
mean,
love it,
they've got to go.
obviously.
They've got to go because it's a problem. The media is supposed to report on things, and you can put like clamps on them and tell them not to do it, but at some point it's going to get leaked.
Right.
At some point.
Like, no offense, I know you're from there, but I think at Memphis you can get away with it a little bit more
Probably.
than Florida State.
Not in basketball.
Not
Not in
basketball. It's way of life there. I would never.
Yeah.
But could you imagine Calipari even letting you watch a layup? Like, it would never happen.
Actually, I got some stories there.
All right, well, that'll be off camera.
Calipari would let the media in all the time.
Really?
Absolutely. It
I
didn't
didn't know that.
matter. Yeah, 100%. And he would make a fool out of himself. I mean, oh my God, the stories I've got. The stories I've got.
Hold on. You got his attention. You got his attention.
Like, Cal would stand up on tables, bend over, and point at his own butt and be like yelling at players,
Wow.
"You're screwing us in that area." Like, Cal gave zero craps about who he was talking to, what he was doing. He let anybody watch. He would yell at any player. Rodney Carney got the worst of it. If anybody
Yeah.
remembers Rodney Carney, yeah, 100%.
I don't like it anymore. I think it's I'm reading too much. And I understand they're not allowed
I don't
to
need
discuss
to
certain
know
things.
if
I don't need to know
somebody,
who looked good in this period, who looked good in that period. It doesn't
because
really
they're
matter.
lying usually.
Yeah, they are.
And you're going up against like a third string, a fourth string, whatever, and it doesn't really matter in practice. And then
Yeah.
you get people, you know what I mean?
My
So
theory is, and it's worked, is if I let you watch this, I control what you can talk about. If I don't let
true.
you, it's kind of fair game for you to report something.
Yeah. But they still reported it anyway.
Yeah. So
that's the problem.
I'm over that. I think that's why I'm curious, because Gus and Tony are going to have a say in how practices run now. It's still Mike's team. It's his operation. I get it. He's the boss, but they're not coming here to just be yes sir people like the last stuff.
I think the media is going to go.
I
do.
I'll make that bet with you for now, but God, I hope I'm wrong. I'll bet you a beer.
I think they're going to go in those situations, and I think we might see some new media in there. That's what I would say.
Oh, okay. That I wasn't. No, I'm not saying we have bad media. I'm just.
No,
But I love our media. It's just, it's too. I don't know. It doesn't work like this. First of all, I'm not a fan of morning practices either, because you don't play games at 8 in the morning. But I was told you went 13-0, so shut up on that one.
Well, I mean, I think with morning practices, maybe it gets you used to a different weather than what you would be in the evening. I don't know. I'm just saying the morning practices don't bother me. I think they should practice after what I saw last year all day, every day. Okay. Yeah. Put them out on the field, make them practice, do jumping jacks.
I mean, Her's going to have them out there at 5 a.m.
Like, I don't care what they're doing.
Yeah,
as long as you're not doing patty cake and sign language when you're, whatever on the field. But what I would say is I do think the media, it might change. I think that the media that had access to them had absolute access. And I do think they may have maybe messed it up a bit. I'm not saying that anything's going to happen to them, but I do think that you might have some little bit of access from some media that maybe you weren't expecting. Not me. That's not what I'm saying. Not me.
No, I get it.
Not me.
You're not local. But,
yeah, I'm not local. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised to see that. That's what I would say. And it probably would be like a more football knowledge media.
Okay. I mean, listen, you can cover the team in an excellent way without seeing all the practice.
Absolutely.
I watched
you don't have to.
years. I watched it even with Willie. Like, now I understand they have rights to maybe leak some stuff more if they're not quote there, and that's Mike's concern. But he's probably built enough goodwill with them where they might run it by him. So you can still do that. I just don't think they need to be seeing our secret stuff.
I mean, I absolutely agree with you. There was nothing that made me, again, there were some things that came out last year that just made me want to slam my head into the wall. And it's like, why? So I absolutely agree with you. There's no reason for it.
But Mike has gotten a pass from the media because of that. If Jimbo had gone 2-10 or had a season like that, or somebody else, the claws would have come out from the media, and they didn't.
Jimbo would have been 5 and whatever the year he quit recruiting, quit coaching, quit doing everything, and the media still gave him a pass up until that point. Let's be for real.
Because Jimbo had a lot of enemies in the media.
But they still gave him a pass, and they still wanted him to continue to be the coach. So,
the main ones, no, they couldn't stand dealing with him.
Well, maybe, but they still were like, "Oh, is he coming or going?" And they looked for his Christmas. Like, let's be honest. Let's be honest. They did not look. Jimbo could have gone 2-10 had he not, had better coaches around him and better players. The problem is, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to go into this year because we talked about this. We're not going to do it.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It all ties in.
But the coaches around Mike sucked. They didn't even give a shit if they won or lost, as long as they were still sitting there playing Xbox and being friends with these kids. That's it. You know it, and I know it.
Yeah. I mean, it was apparent after 13-0, they really, Bud Elliott, I respect. And he said early in the year last year that the word had got out on the recruiting trail that Florida State was like the least hardest working staff of anybody.
Yeah.
So they weren't great to begin with as recruiters.
So can we
Imagine
sue?
what's that?
Can we sue for like
Of damages?
dereliction of duty? Like
That was the
seriously.
issue with Jimbo, his dereliction of duty. Um,
Oh.
no, because they showed up for work, so we really can't sue. They just didn't do a good job. It's one thing if you don't show up or you do something to embarrass the school. Well, 2-10 is 2-10 is. I'm talking about embarrass. Like
How about a show cause? How about a show cause for dropping a kid off? Look,
that wasn't
I'm
his fault.
over this dude. I'm so
Yeah.
over it.
He's not going to
And
be on your
by
Christmas card list. You're not going to be on his.
I don't give a fuck. Okay? I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. But like
No,
I
Easter.
don't
He's
care.
not gonna,
I do not care.
yeah.
His Christmas card list probably exists of what? Everybody at Georgia that he sent players to, by the way, or LSU.
Yeah, he said Solomon Thomas there.
Huh?
He recruited better for them than us there. I was more
And
upset
there was
with his
another
lack of
five
development.
star that he, enthused to go there to
Yeah,
Georgia, but
no, I'm
that's fine.
sure. Listen. There was a lot of stuff that went on. That's for sure. That's why I want an old school drill sergeant.
Herb Ham, you got
I
him.
know. I just Trickett fit that bill,
Mm.
except for the way he recruited, like size.
I mean, I get it, but I think Clint, or sorry, I was talking about, my favorite Clint Trickett. I meant Rick. Rick Trickett. I think he recruited players that he knew he could build up. And I think he recruited players that he knew he could develop, which is something we haven't seen in a long time.
The Tiny Hat is engaged tonight.
Is he?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh,
I
he
have no
saw me
jokes,
talking about
Tiny Hat.
Clint. He saw me talking about Clint Trickett. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
my love. Yeah, he gets embarrassed. He gets upset.
Oh, I see, man. Ruffled some feathers there. But that's why I'm thrilled with Herb. I was so impressed in the press conference with him.
I
And
loved it.
he's old school, and this is what he does. He coaches linemen, and he loves to recruit. He's already changed the game recruiting for us in what, a month?
Yeah,
The way he's pounded the pavement already, I'm more impressed with that than anything.
absolutely.
So I'm thrilled about that. I'm curious how the tour of duty is with these guys here now. But the one I'm most impressed about is Tony White. I think he's a head coach.
Yeah,
I
100%.
I was so upset about the spring game announcement the other day that I was like telling somebody, I'm just going to call Tony White my head coach this year. And that's it. Now, Cameron got a little flack, and I don't think he did anything wrong. They tried to accuse him on one of the episodes that he was saying that Mike hired his replacement. And he didn't say that. All he said was, we have a defense coordinator now who's buttoned up as you'll ever see and ready to go and impressive.
And can recruit and can talk to the recruits
Yes.
and is willing to get out there and work the pavement, right?
And wants to be physical in practice.
Yes.
Where I don't know what we were doing in practice the last 2 years.
We
They
were playing
reminded me of
patty
Little
cake.
Giants. Remember when they would get flicked and they would
They
go
were
down
doing
and get
sign
hurt?
language. That's what
Yeah.
they were doing.
Macarena in practice.
That's it.
But, but remember in Little Giants, that movie, when they would get flicked a couple times, they'd go down and ow, my elbow, ow, my. That was us last year. Like, my favorite line of the whole year last year was Jeff Cameron saying, guys, you don't have to get hurt every time you get tackled. And I understand injuries happen. That's why I have other concerns about this staff that I think we addressed the main ones. I don't know if Josh Storms is the right guy as our strength coach anymore.
I agree.
I'm glad you said that. I seem to be the only one saying that. I have people saying, knock it off. The team was soft. They had a bad attitude. It didn't matter if whoever was running the strength program. But I've seen a regression there.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Well, I think also
And Mike
Atkins.
swears by him. He will never fire him.
I mean, look, I know this better than anybody. Okay, he was his strength and conditioning coach at Memphis, and everybody who has been with him swears by him. The players that have built themselves up swear by him. By
Yeah.
the way, Um, I I have a hard time with this one because I do agree, but I think when we're looking at the players that didn't develop under Storms, these were Atkins who wanted these, and
I can agree
the
with
former defensive staff. So I think Mike, knowing what he could do at Memphis and knowing what he did with Jared Verse,
Farmer.
Farmer,
Farmer's like
Johnson, right?
his best testament.
Like, look, I think he can do it. He does have the track record with Mike, whereas nobody else did, if that
That's
makes
true.
sense.
That's true. And Mike was adamant
So
to say it wasn't his a lot of stuff out of his control. I'll give
absolutely.
him a pass. I got him on like
No,
alert.
look, here's the thing. I do think as the like I'm from Memphis, like I love Mike and everything, but I think this is his last year.
Who? Josh Storms?
Mm,
Mike?
Mike,
See how the season goes.
that's what I'm saying.
He's coaching like it's
So
do or die.
he has to.
Thank
He
God.
has to.
So
And
you're saying
so
he's not going to get it done this year?
if he wants to keep Josh Storms, that's up to him, and he's got to deal with this like this is his last year.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, that's how I feel about it. And if he feels like he can do this with his like coaching for his life,
No,
then I've
I
got to give
agree.
him respect for it.
You know what? I couldn't agree with you there. You really made some great points there because the year before we were praising Storms. That
Yep.
Clemson game, I was there. It was hot. Those players had
Yep.
a deep down in the fourth quarter, and they all were praising Storms after the game. So maybe it was just one. Maybe it was just one of these years where it was a whole confluence of things that just all came to the surface. That I'm hoping. That's why I'm surprised. I'll admit it to see Tony Tokars and stuff.
Me too.
I was shocked about that one. I heard a rumor that his family was even telling people, "Yeah, he's done." So I don't know what that was. Maybe with Gus, that Gus doesn't want to deal with quarterbacks.
I don't think that's it.
Gus just wants to run the offense.
Mhm.
He doesn't want to coach a position per se. I don't know what
I'm
Tony's dreaming.
excited to see like a Cooper Williams back. That's what I'm excited to see
Yeah,
back because
and I'm
that
excited to see Ernie
guy.
get a bigger role. Ernie Sims.
Yep, absolutely. Oh God, yes. And
I'm
that he
thrilled
wasn't
about that.
let go, and that there was. So, I mean, anyway. I mean, I feel bad that Ron Dugan's like got the bad part of this, but the fact that he was out there liking some of, I will say, my stuff, saying that Atkins was trash, it was amazing to me.
Yeah, I've gone back with Ron almost 30 years, so
I love Ron
I stay
Dugans.
quiet
I
on that. But I
feel
understand. Let's just say I
terrible.
understand it's a business.
Yeah, I
Um,
feel terrible that he was caught up in the fact that there was a certain coach, that was threatening to take all of his recruits if he wasn't made offensive coordinator once Kenny Dillingham left. And, he
I didn't
did
know that.
this every year and
Yeah.
all the things. It was awful. It was terrible what happened.
Yeah. No, I agree. But I always say if you go 2-10, there's going to be consequences. Like nobody's
Absolutely.
safe then. So it's not like we were good this year and it happened. Then I'd be like this. Oh, even though you're getting paid the next 2 years, 2-10.
It
It's
was, I
don't
mean,
cry because it's
Mike
over.
had
Cry
to
'cause it
clean
happened.
house. Yeah. If he wanted to keep his job, he had to clean house. There was nobody that could stay.
And I don't think he
Literally
could stay
nobody.
cleaned out. I don't think this was a clean house. They made a few changes at the top. I don't think it was a clean house. I thought it might be like Armageddon. It was not Armageddon.
Like the Red Wedding,
Yeah,
if
something
anybody
like that.
watches.
I don't think it was. I there
You
were
really don't.
yeah, I thought I guess it just shows I think Alfred is not as strong as I thought he was. Now maybe in this time you question everything and everyone. I know you have a good relationship with Alfred. But we'll see. I mean, this is it. This is this year. I I even said that he can go 6 wins this year, 7 wins, and keep his job. 5 and below. I'm talking reckless. Hold on. About who? I might
Billy
just
Alford.
I might have to invite him on, man.
You should.
Tiny Hat, you want to come on? I'll send you a link. I can get my own version of the Renegade roast.
Oh no.
Yeah. Tiny Hat, you want to come on? You've been awesome tonight, man. You're welcome to join. I'll send you a link. I mean, I'm talking reckless. You're welcome to come on, and you know me. I'm willing to hear it.
Of
So
course.
we've covered all that stuff. What I think they've
My
done.
favorite hire. Let's discuss pot roast. I love Terrence Knighton. Like, let's
How
do
can you not
this.
love him?
I love it. And not only because it makes me hungry every time I discuss pot roast, which I don't exactly like, but I'm just saying,
Sorry,
what did he
sorry.
say? He is such a mess.
Oh, no problem, man. We're gonna get a manicure together one day too, Tiny Hat.
Avocado mask, sir. I can't.
I believe him. All right,
Oh,
well,
I
in the future, Tiny Hat.
100% believe him. Anyway, so Terrence Knighton, I
Wonderful.
love the engagement again with the tweets, and it's giving James Coley vibes. I'm not saying, that he's going to be a terrible coach like James Coley. It's really, what did he say?
Sorry, sorry. He is
You
very.
think, I know. Welcome to my world. Welcome to
Yes,
my world.
I love it. I love it.
So yeah, I think it's to me, he's giving off this wonderful, maybe Tim Brewster. Maybe it's Tim Brewster is maybe what I should give back to Terrence Knighton. But I love it. I
He does
absolutely
have a
love it.
track record.
He's engaging with the fans, plus he's a good coach. I love this. I
I
absolutely love it.
think the
We
most
haven't
important
seen
thing.
this in a minute.
No, but from what I hear about him as a human being, I mean,
He's
you know what
great.
James Williams has said about him?
Yeah.
He's like, I owe like my life to this guy. He's like a second father to me. It like you see the love those two have for each other
Yeah.
in that Nebraska game. He calls him Sack when he did that pose with him. He's like, I was losing it. I wasn't making good choices. And this guy treated me like a son and got me right back on track. Like
Yeah.
I'm the
I mean,
president of the Odell Hagen's fan club. Like
yeah.
that's how I
A
am.
hundred
So
percent.
if it was ever going to be someone replace Odell, I don't care if it was like the Queen of England. Like I was going to be like, I hate this person.
I
Um,
knew this was going to be bad press,
I mean, it
right?
wasn't
But
one
they
bit.
did it
Yeah,
perfectly. They
it
did it
wasn't.
perfectly.
It was as gracious, and
Hmm.
Odell's still with the team. He's just doing it in a advisory role, I guess you can call it. And Pot Roast is awesome, and he
Yeah.
knows what Tony White wants.
Yeah.
Well, I like it. You can hit the ground running in spring.
100%.
I don't care how good a coach you are. If you have to learn a new system and coach the guys, it is tough. And we've had those problems in the past where they have to learn it, and you're not ready for the first game of the year. So that's why I'm thrilled. Pot Roast his press conference was awesome. And when he told the story of how he got that name, did you hear the story?
No, I haven't. Tell
He told
me.
the whole story. They said about the name Pot Roast. He said, yeah, he goes, I think he was in Jacksonville playing, and he was on a flight home, and the choice of meals were pot roast or shrimp fettuccine or something like that. And he's like, thank God I chose the pot roast because that's what they ended up calling me after that. And now my family calls me that. So thank God I wasn't, or linguine, it was something like that. He said, thank God I didn't get like that one. It was a
You don't
great
want that
story. He's
name
like,
now.
now everybody calls me pot roast, and even my family.
Again, it just makes me hungry, but I do love the fact that he is like really good at his job.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Um, I don't know. Like, what else do you think of the hires? What do you think?
The Tony White one blew me away.
I love it.
I wouldn't have even put him if you'd mentioned his name on a list. I would have laughed at it, knowing we came off 2-10, knowing he's at a solid program like Nebraska. But I know Matt Rule has a reputation for not being great to work with. Now we've been critical about Mike in some ways tonight, and I led the charge in a lot of ways. But this says a lot about Mike and that the reputation he has in the coaching world of being good to work for. These guys
I
don't.
wonder.
What's that?
Do you think that he was given more autonomy to hire these types? Because to me, I think um obvious not I think Mike's first choice for offensive line coach when he first came to Florida State was Ryan Silverfield, who is the current head coach at
Yeah.
Memphis, right? I do think he was given maybe, I don't know, everything he wanted, right? He wanted Ron Dugans for his wide receiver coach as soon as he came in, right? He didn't get that.
Who?
Mike. Ron Dugans was not his
Yes,
wide
he
receiver
was.
coach when he first
Yes, he
came in.
was.
No, he
He
wasn't.
had him. He had him his whole time at Florida State. Because remember, you want to
No.
bet because Ron was there for Willie's.
Ron came in a year after Mike came in.
No, Ron was a
I'm
receivers coach.
pretty sure.
We can bet because Ron came in Willie's last year, and
Oh my God. Okay, never mind. That was it. That was Willie that wanted him his first year. Never mind. I'm
Willie
sorry.
wanted him his first year because they
Yeah.
knew each other from South Florida.
My bad.
It's fine. That's what I'm here for.
But I feel like Mike wasn't given the autonomy he really wanted, right?
I heard he did get it. People say Willie didn't get some of the guys he wanted. Who knows? I think he called Jimmy Sexton and was like, "My ass is on the line now. You better get me some people," and it showed. I'm sure there were a lot of talks going on because you
I'll
don't make
keep quiet.
No, I wasn't implying anything there. But that's what I think it was. I think he called him and said, because Jimmy's got a list of everybody. People only think of Jimmy Sexton as the head coach, king. He's got OCs and DCs and position coaches, all at this. He can make it very appealing to come to Florida State, and he did.
Of course, any amount of money can, and I think also Nebraska would, it was clearly.
Yeah, I mean, they were when Tony White left. There were about 3 or 4 YouTube live streams that had 12-hour coverage, in depression.
Oh yeah,
he left. I was like, this.
Well,
is
here's.
awesome. I was like,
well, this is my thing. Okay, so I'm not even going to go there with the coaching hires, but it's the Thomas Castellanos for me, and I wasn't a huge fan of him. Okay. Wasn't super excited until I saw the Boston College fans going nuts. And they're like, this is our backup. Florida State has to take our backup. And I'm like, one, I've never seen a Boston College fan in the wild. Never. Not one time. And two, you guys are this hurt over a backup. Did we discuss this? Because maybe he's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Listen, I don't hate that because, listen, Gus recruited the kid out of high school. So he knows and had him for a year at UCF.
I know. I get it.
It's well taught, well documented, but I think for Gus's system,
he's perfect. Yeah.
He's like a glove. I'm not saying he's the answer. He's going to lead you to he's not going to be our Michael Vick, according to but I think for
the
what
guy who's doing
year,
his facial mask.
Yes. Hey, listen, man. Maybe you can get Thomas Castellanos a skincare deal, NIL deal, and they can do a podcast.
Tell him how to do it.
Avocado mask session with Thomas and Tiny Hat. But no, jokes aside, I don't hate it because for Bill O'Brien's system, he was never going to be a fit last year. And that was the word was he was not given a fair shake. It just didn't work out. People kept ripping him for the way he left at the last couple games of the year. It wasn't that he just said, screw this, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Bill treated him
Bill
horribly.
O'Brien benched him 100%.
And was treated horribly. So it was just and with NIL these days, you're going to see that more. So I didn't put much stock in that. Listen,
the same Bill O'Brien that told Milroe to be a tight end. I'm just saying.
Yeah, exactly. So he doesn't like athletic quarterbacks. I think he's made that abundantly clear.
What?
But Gus Malzahn, if I watch him take Nick Marshall to a championship, who was a DB, You think he can't work stuff with, and he needs Thomas just really for 1 year just to get this thing off the ground. Who
I
wants to
mean,
be here? This
the
is his
Nick
dream school.
Marshall as a quarterback, which we all know was one of the best nights of all of our lives, if we're all still remembering it,
We will.
right?
How do you not?
Oh, it was amazing. It was still amazing.
Oh yeah, but that's why I'm not worried because Gus is not a pass. Gus's quarterback does not need to be pass first.
Can we get Damian Craig back on the staff at any point? Why?
I'll tell you stuff off camera.
Oh, that's fine. I'm just saying, bring the old band back together. Let's get Damian Craig, Gus
Holy
Malzahn. Who cares? Let's do it.
Gus Malzahn, we need a. That's why I thought Muschamp might be a candidate. I'm sure they all
Look,
know.
I wanted Dan Mullen, to be fair.
But he got a head coaching gig.
Good for him.
But he's gonna love Vegas. I mean, what a fit.
That should be a reality show.
Oh
And
my
you know
God.
how much I love Bravo and reality shows like Dan Mullen in Las
Oh,
Vegas.
it's
Someone
gold.
get cameras on this stat. It's gonna be amazing.
I
He's
mean, just
still spending Florida's money.
after all,
He's not even married anymore.
he's
Let's
not.
do the things.
He's
Uh,
not.
uh, uh.
I didn't know that. I mean, she was always so reserved with players. she, but I think
Come
it's a
on now.
perfect fit. I mean, him in Vegas, and he's not looking like, oh, I need
I
a
love
power
it.
five. I'm Dan Mullen. It's like he's just happy to go there and like shove it up people's backside and prove people wrong.
I'm
I love
so
it.
jealous of
He's happy.
Vegas for getting Dan Mullen. I would put a camera on him 24/7.
I think he's gold
Yeah.
in Vegas. And tell me that wouldn't be great for recruiting.
Oh, I mean,
Like,
maybe not. I mean, he's gonna still wear the pleated pants. Is he
he should
still
get a
gonna
YouTube
wear?
show like Prime has. Just if he had a kid, okay. I'm not. I'm just saying, like, if he has someone on staff that just filmed them around Vegas.
I think he's just gonna film other. I want Bravo to give him the camera and
Oh,
film what he's doing. I don't need them to film him. I want him to film what he wants to do because we know what he likes to do. He
this
likes to party. He likes to do all these things.
I mean,
And then
God,
he posts all these pictures. I mean, it would be amazing. It would be amazing.
like him on the Vegas
Like
Strip just one night, like talking
it'd
with
be
the
the
coaches at the
hangover.
casino.
It would be the hangover.
Yeah, but I'm
Come
saying
on.
imagine coaches meeting. We're meeting at the Cosmopolitan at 8 p.m. Casino floor. I got a VIP
I mean,
room.
we've heard the stories after SEC days in Dustin, right? When Mullen was there. Like, give me that. That's what I want in Vegas.
Oh,
That's what I want in Vegas.
when I saw that hire like announced, I was like, bravo. No pun intended. Yeah, thanks for coming on earlier tonight so we can watch Southern Charm later.
Yay!
I told myself I would not watch it this season.
It's so good.
I have
It's so
not.
good. Stop. It's so good.
I haven't
And
missed
by
an
the
episode.
way, speaking of Southern Charm, I'm very sad that Paige and Craig broke up. I'm very
Did
sad. Oh, I didn't say that.
they were? When did they announce it on social media?
Yeah.
So if they announced it on social media, it's my fault for not knowing. Is it going to
No.
come out later in the season?
No,
Or
I don't think
just
they're
happened
gonna do
after
it
something?
live. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do it live.
What just if because she would not commit to moving to Charleston? I mean, we're
Yeah,
real.
she's kind of
Years
a
here.
douche. She's kind of a bad. She's the villain here.
Finally, you admit that. It's like because you wouldn't for Lindsay.
Okay, I'm
That was the only time
still
we've ever argued, right? Was Lindsay and her ex.
look. I'm still Team Lindsay on that.
Can't stand her.
Still,
Oh,
100%. Still Team Lindsay. That guy was such a geek. Let me
Carl.
start my Carl. Let me start my non-alcoholic bar. Nobody gives a shit. That's
In
called
New
a
York.
coffee shop,
In
you
New York.
douchebag. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Anyway, so I am still like no, I am team Craig here. Paige was
Okay.
never interested in marrying him. She used him for her fame. We
Really?
get it. I think so. She's
She
a
is
rich kid.
she's a businesswoman first.
What business?
No, she has a brand. She has that stuff.
She has a podcast.
It makes money. So does Craig, but he's got the pillow company or whatever. But
He
I
has
don't
a
like what Craig did
brewery
with Austin. I
too.
don't like
He
what
has
Craig
a
did with Austin.
brewery too. I'm Team Craig here.
Craig has about 4 or
He
5 businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she has nothing. She has rich parents. She has nothing else. Let's just be for real, for real.
No, I understand, but I didn't like how Craig treated Austin.
Austin's a dick though.
This is the only time we really ever butt heads. But I'm not saying Austin's perfect. He's got his flaws, but I think Craig's ego was out of control the last couple episodes. Tiny,
I
what do you think
think
about Southern Charm? If you're what? Let's see if we can
he
still keep 4
he
viewers.
doesn't
Uh,
do this. He's
I
like,
know.
what the fuck?
I'm just looking right now. If we can keep the 4 viewers while we talk Southern Charm, like I'm gonna be impressed. Um,
We do like KB and we do Tiny Hat and I do Love Island. I am a Love Island lover. He won't. I mean, if Bravo puts it on, if it's a reality show, I will watch it. You know that.
it's
If it
through
sucks,
my friend has a wrestling company down here now. A pro wrestling company. He started his own pro wrestling company.
pro
And
wrestling, I love.
we're gonna have to. I'm going on the Jericho cruise as of now next week. Yeah, I can't
Like
wait.
Chris Jericho.
Yeah, the wrestler. He's got a cruise.
Shut up.
Yeah, this is the 6th one.
Okay,
But
let
you'll
me
see
tell you.
content from it. I'll send you the vlog from last year, but it was my first ever vlog and it was terrible. I didn't even know to hold the camera sideways. But that
Who's
being
your
said,
favorite wrestler? Favorite
okay,
wrestler of all time?
Hulk Hogan.
Huh?
Hulk Hogan. I will run through a wall for that man. He also got
Mm.
like 90 new subscribers on this channel.
Guess who mine is?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Um,
I bet he's
That's
your ringtone.
mean.
Is he your ringtone too?
Oh, I've told you that. That's
No, it's a lucky
mean.
guess. Lucky guess. I should have just said The Rock or somebody. I love Austin. I got to meet him one time. I'll send you a picture. Yeah, in New Orleans at WrestleMania weekend. He's awesome. He's awesome. But that means you
I
have your
love Stone Cold.
yeah, Hogan's my guy. He's the reason I became a fan. Like, oh, I don't care what anyone says about him. Like, yeah, that's why I tried his beer over the summer because Florida was the
Was
first.
it good?
Yeah, it was fine. It tastes like Miller Lite. If
Ugh,
you
so
like Miller
bad.
Lite, then you'll be fine with it. But he did like a meet and greet free.
Oh,
So I bought the second case of it in the state of Florida ever. So I walked up to him and said, "Yeah, I bought the second ever case." And he was like, "Awesome, brother. What do you think?" I said, "I haven't tried it yet." He goes, "Take one of mine." And I wasn't gonna bother him and be like, "Oh, film this for my YouTube or whatever." So he says to one of his friends, "Brother, film this." One of his people. So I said, "Well, while you're at it, take this phone and film for me too." And we did a whole bit. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
no, I haven't.
Yeah, it's like a 38-second video where I gave it a 10.
It's on your page?
It's on my YouTube. It's on my everything. Yeah. But I'll send it to you. And I gave it a 10. And he was like, "That's a 10 out of 10. And we ain't no big fat hen." And I put it up on YouTube and like people, it's got like 38,000 views on my shorts. And I got like 80 new subscribers. And like, it was insane.
Wow.
Insane. Yeah. So Hulk I will go to war for. But a friend of mine through his wrestling company, my friend who started one, they have a lot of reality show connections.
Ooh, and
Like,
you know I love that. But where is a wrestling mecca? Where's a wrestling
well,
mecca?
Memphis wrestling with Jerry Lawler.
Yes.
Staple. Of course,
Ooh.
Memphis. The Rock was there in developmental.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Memphis.
so was Stone Cold Steve Austin. He
Yeah.
used to be called the
Stunning
something
Steve
the
Austin.
Wrangler or
He was
something.
the ringmaster when he first came to WWE.
Ringmaster.
When he first came to WWF or WWE.
Yeah.
That was a
Okay.
terrible gimmick. But no, you had to go to Memphis to prove yourself
Yeah.
in the territory days.
I know this seems so
Lawler.
sad. Anybody watching that this female is so obsessed with wrestling. But I'm telling you, it's like a big thing here.
No, like when I come visit Memphis again, I want to go to Jerry Lawler's restaurant on Beale Street.
Isn't it close?
He closed it. I didn't know that.
Mm,
But so I guess not then. But like Memphis wrestling is a big deal. You're talking
it's amazing.
The Dusty Rhodes, the Jerry Lawlers, the
Mhm.
Rock, the superstar
The
Billy
Rock,
Graham,
yeah.
superstar Billy Graham. Like you
Triple
had
H.
Hogan,
Triple H came through
yeah,
here.
Kurt Angle.
Yep.
That's what
Kurt
developed it
Angle.
was. Like Kurt Angle
Is he
spent
the one
time in
that killed
Memphis.
his family?
That's Chris Benoit.
Okay, whatever.
I wouldn't promote that guy.
Goldust. Goldust came through Memphis too, KP.
Is he
Goldust
messing
came
with
through
his thing?
Memphis.
Is he serious?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Goldust, stop.
Well, eventually, I think his brothers kind of surpassed him now.
I think was he talking about the other guy, oh my god, I can't even remember his name. Bald. He's been in movies. He
Goldberg?
looks yes.
Yeah, he played at Georgia.
Yeah.
He's
That's
messing
who
with
I
it.
think you're talking about.
Where? For who?
I think that's who KP was talking about, not Gold Dust.
No,
Nobody
he's talking
really
about
thinks
Goldust.
Gold
Dustin
Dust.
Rhodes, who came out in the gold makeup and the. He's messing with you about Doink the Clown right here.
You know clowns are my scariest thing. Stop it.
I knew he was trolling you, but
No, that's mean.
no wrestling. Yeah. So, but my friend who runs a company in Boca Raton has a lot of reality stars make appearances. Mark Long, who was in Real Road Rules season 1, done like Deal or No Deal, all these shows. He's at almost pretty much every show. A lot of the Big Brother people were at the last show he had.
Really?
A lot of the Real World Road Rules people. Johnny Bananas.
Do we know any Vanderpump Rules people?
No, no. But Johnny Bananas. You probably heard that name.
Johnny Bananas. I do. Johnny Bananas knows.
He lives right near me.
Really?
Yeah, he's
I
got
listen to his
boxing,
podcast.
he's got a boxing gym nearby, and he's come to a bunch. He's a great dude. I know he gets a lot of flack online and everything.
I mean, I don't care. He's got some great guests. I think his podcast is fun. I think it's fun. I think he has some good guests sometimes. Yeah.
Things you learn.
What is
We're gonna bring you on to talk like he's. Hey, listen, it wasn't for the challenge. Is the Miz in WWE now?
Oh, the Miz. Okay, I'm not a big fan of the Miz. By the way,
I give him credit for his longevity.
I agree.
That's
I think when he was on the Real World, he sucked, and then when he was a wrestler, he sucked also. I'm not there for it. He gave me. It was giving like the bad Rock, right? Like it just.
The bad Rock.
Like he just was like a poor man's Rock. That's what he
Anyway,
was
but
to
the fact
me.
that he's didn't doing it this long. I give him credit for that. It's hard.
I'm sorry.
And stay
I feel
relevant.
like he dissed Stone Cold too many times for me, and I am not here for that.
That's true, but it's wrestling. It comes with territory.
I don't give a shit. Stone Cold to me is the goat. Goat.
Hogan, sorry.
I mean, I get it.
There is
I
no
feel
Stone
you.
Cold without Hulk Hogan.
By the
But
way,
in Stone Cold's prime, he did outsell Hulk Hogan in t-shirts.
my Aunt Laurie is Hulk Hogan's first cousin. That's all I'm going to say.
Wow. You win tonight now.
I know.
I totally forgot about Florida State football once we got in the Southern Tournament.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's great. It's great that we do that. I like to be doing it.
Oh, no.
I don't know who he's talking about. I mean, I don't watch the challenge anymore and that stuff. I don't watch like that stuff. I used to like Road Rules like back in the day. In Real
Who
World.
didn't?
That's true. But it's crazy. It's like Real World, like that TV show spun like its own like genre.
It was crazy, right?
I used to remember like the arguments and people bragging and saying
You have the transportation secretary.
Sean Duffy.
Yeah, Sean Duffy is now being like confirmed, and he was on fucking like Real World. What was that? Boston. Real
He
World
was
Boston.
Boston because his wife was on Real World San Francisco.
Yeah, she was on the first season, San
No, she was on the
Francisco.
second or third. She was the one with Puck.
Yeah. Wait,
First
that
one was
wasn't
New
the first
York. With
season?
Eric Nice.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So
Golden
this is
Bachelor. I don't
so
watch that one
crazy.
yet. I don't watch that. I don't watch Bachelor.
Wait, what are we getting mad about?
He
The
said we'll
Bachelor?
watch Southern Charm next. Y'all gonna talk Golden Bachelor?
Oh no, we're not gonna watch the Golden Bachelor.
No, I don't watch any of that stuff. I know he's messing with us there.
I know. The
No,
Southern
but that's
Charm is
crazy.
good. It's good.
I like it. I do. Like, I don't want to like. I could never hang out with those people in general. Like Shep,
Oh, I
I
could.
get lost. Austin get lost. Craig is okay, I guess. Um, I like some of the new people.
I'm sorry. I think Shep is like got it.
You like it?
Mainly because he's like 6'5".
Hmm.
So, and he drinks like a
That was awesome.
fish. Like I would love to sit there like with a guy who could like drink with me. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, that's the dream, isn't it?
It really is.
That's
You
the
know,
dream.
I've got to
You know, hey,
have
listen,
like
man. I want you
something.
setting the bar high in that department. So,
Like,
anything? What's up?
no, I was just gonna say, like, people always say, like, oh, you know, you're a girl, you can't drink, and I'm like, oh, okay. Most men like can't drink with me, but that's fine.
I I
Anyway, go
I
ahead.
know from experience, like if you ever want to challenge her, like you better bring your A game.
It won't work.
Yeah, because she. And then the worst part is, I may or may not have been there one night to ever see it, but the thing is, you'll do that drink for drink and still talk football consistently the
Mhm.
whole time without missing a beat. But you know, like when you've had a heavy drinking night, about midway through, you totally forget what you're talking about, and you're just trying to make sense of anything. No, not with Jen. It's consistent. So yeah, I just
It's ridiculous. I get it. Everybody around my family is like, "Do you have a wooden leg?" Maybe I do, maybe I don't. We're not sure.
yeah, but it's impressive. So you're not kidding. So we talked Southern Charm, we talked Real World, we talked wrestling, which is on Netflix now. I don't know if you know that.
It sure is.
WWE Monday Nights on Netflix, which I think is awesome. I think it's awesome. That just shows how big wrestling is now. Who are your favorite wrestlers now?
I
Do you have
don't have
anybody there?
one.
You don't watch?
No.
Goldust's brother is probably one or two of the biggest stars in wrestling. Cody Rhodes.
You know, I spend most of my time on Bravo
It's true. Do you watch like
or
Southern
on sports.
Hospitality and you watch Southern Hospitality?
Yeah.
What about like Below Deck?
Oh, stop. I love Below Deck.
I'm not ripping. I like Below Deck.
I love Below Deck.
Yeah. Let me guess. You love
Um,
the Australian captain.
oh, yes!
What woman doesn't?
Captain Jason. I love
He
Captain
came out
Jason.
that one. He was at BravoCon with all the other captains. And it almost
Ugh.
just didn't look right. Him sitting there with Captain Sandy and Captain
I
Lee.
hate Captain. Like, Captain Sandy
I'm
is
not a fan.
so, like, passive.
Lee's the worst.
I loved Captain
I'll
Lee.
tell you why I don't like him because he has favoritism and he openly admits it. The stuff he let, I'm still upset about it. Kate get away with,
Mm.
and he would always say, "Oh, she's
What
all,
we're not gonna do is start criticizing Kate.
she's the worst." He's hanging out with Captain Morgan. Go Bucks! Congrats on Ohio State, who Goose. Congrats on Ohio State. They deserved it. I was at the Michigan game. I didn't think he'd hey Goose save me. All right, we'll talk a little football. What'd you think of the playoffs this year? People are saying the games weren't that exciting.
I
I
disagree.
disagree too.
I love the fact that the SEC wasn't there. That was very exciting for me. And I also enjoyed the fact that Notre Dame did what they usually do is make it to the big game and get destroyed. I loved every minute of the playoff games. The losers, SMU. SMU, by the way, guys, anybody wants to hear this? Maybe some don't. I thought Bama should have been in over SMU. Want
No,
to know why?
sure.
Oh, hang on. Bama got in over Florida State, who earned it way more than SMU's sorry asses.
Mhm.
So, no, I didn't think SMU should have been in there. I thought Bama should have gotten in, and then it would have shown what a fraud everything was. And the fact that
They couldn't
SMU
make that
got
mistake 2
in,
years in a row. We did the Lord's work last year for SMU.
fuck SMU. And I'm so glad they got their butts kicked. They got their asses whooped, and I was sitting there just enjoying every minute of it. Screw them. I don't give a shit about SMU. They're losers anyway. They'll never be anything important. Who cares? What's fun?
I don't know. We could end up having a different conversation if Lashley stays and they're committed to
Well,
football like I think they are.
he won't.
Then that's a different. Listen, that's why I always say, pending their coach staying,
Look,
they have the resources there.
they've had the resources for years, and they still could never do anything.
They weren't
Who
in a
gives
major
a shit? What? They're in the ACC. The ACC isn't a major conference. We were
You can
told
still
that
win a
last
national
year.
title in the ACC versus where they were before.
We were told the ACC wasn't a major conference last year.
I understand, but Clemson has won 2 titles recently. We have won 1 recently. When's the last time where the conference they came out of?
When's the last time an undefeated conference championship got left out?
I'm not defending last year. I'm just saying I don't think SMU is a pushover. I really don't.
I do.
That's cool. I think as long as Lashley's there, they're in the right direction.
And he won't be there for long.
Then
I
it's a
think
different story.
watch Lashley.
If Texas ever opened up, he'd be there in a millisecond.
In a millisecond, I also think look for the NFL to hire him.
That's fine. That's why I said if they can keep Lashley, he's the glue there. I think he's a great coach.
He's fine.
Fair enough. But no, he knows offense. That's what I respect about Red.
He makes Miami fans go nuts, which is what I absolutely enjoy. So
They
far.
play each other this year. So that'll be interesting. So yeah,
do you mean Miami loses to them this year?
I don't think it's humanly possible to make accurate predictions in January. I understand. I understand it's that time of year, but the portal can change things in a week these days.
Sure. Paying $4 million for a quarterback who can't throw is an amazing choice.
That's going to be interesting there. But hey, the Carpenter twins will be happy. But so anything else you want to add? We really really the heavy stuff tonight.
I don't know. I think look, I think this year is going to be an interesting year. I think I love the new coaching staff. I think they made really good choices.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think it's anybody I'm upset about. I don't think it's anybody that I'm worried about. And look, on signing day, early signing day, they did an amazing job.
Yeah.
And that was the wildest part of all of this.
I was telling people I was in Atlanta that day, and when I wake up,
I couldn't believe it.
Holiday, I woke up and like I don't even care. And then I hear we got Usman Cromo. Oh, I haven't told you the story. So I'm in New Orleans for the Georgia Notre Dame game. Yes, I was right near the terrorist attack. And I'm walking down the street, and I think people have learned when I vlog these games. It's like, yeah, he's a Knoll, but he's here. He's cool. Like, so I'm at a street waiting across the street, a Georgia fan next to me, and I told him I wish him good luck, and I said, if I had a second team, it's Georgia. And he goes, well, what do we got to do to be your first team? I was like, you'll never top Florida State.
Right.
And he laughed, and he goes, you got that running back over us. And I said, you're in the semifinals tomorrow. We're 2-10. Give us something.
He's so good. He is so good.
That's what he said. He goes, I don't think you realize what you got.
Yeah.
I was like, I do. I said, I've seen film. He's a bruiser. He goes, just the bruiser? He goes, I'm not going to talk about what you guys are paying him. I said, you guys are Georgia. He goes, fair enough. But He goes, I know his coaches. Like, I know what this kid can do. Like, he
Yeah.
goes, you're a special one. And
It's
to hear it from the other side is a whole different ballgame.
I couldn't believe it. Like I
Yeah.
saw like some rumors maybe a couple days before, and I was like,
Yeah.
right. Like I mean, it's giving KJ Bolden all over again, right? You're gonna lose him to Georgia, right?
Yeah. I didn't care that he was at the Florida game 3 days before. To watch that, like, no, I know
Like
Bowden stepped up to get him, but that's football these days. So that guy kept saying that, and I'm like, bro, you're Georgia. Like, I don't want to hear
right.
if we paid. And he goes, and
Yeah,
he
your
was
life is
super cool.
rough.
He
Your
was
life
super
is
cool.
rough.
Yeah, I said, listen, man, you got a lot more resources than us, even if we had to really drop a bag to get this kid. He goes, you're right. He was cool, but he was like, they were hurt not getting this kid. And how many running backs does Georgia have? I mean, really?
1,000.
Right. So to have one kid like really burn him, and you can tell this guy was tied into the coaches and tied in.
Look, yeah.
But yeah, he said, man, you're lucky to have this kid.
That was the biggest one for me, and I couldn't believe it. And I also think they made some huge, huge swings on that signing day. Like, does anybody else? I mean, I don't want to age myself, but I used to take off February 5th every year,
It's a holiday.
every fucking year
It's a
to
holiday.
like sit there and watch ESPN, you know? And it was such a fun day. I miss it. I really miss these times because I feel like ESPN is just so ruined college football. There's no words for this. Um, the early signing day blows. Just go back to February 5th. Just go back. What's the problem? What's the problem? People can still early enroll. They were able to back in the day. What's the problem?
I have no problem with that because then you can. It's better for new coaches. I mean, these coaches.
Yeah.
It's for a couple reasons. Well,
It's better for
you
the
have more time to
playoffs.
go on the
It's
road
better
and
for
recruit.
everything.
That's why Bill Belichick is coaching in college now because he doesn't have to go on the road and recruit.
Is he?
And sit and living. Well, he doesn't have to because with signing day in December or excuse me, November now. It was what I'm sorry. It was a couple days after Thanksgiving was signing day this year or last year. You can't go and sit on couches and woo kids. You don't have time. You're in the season. So this is like the golden time for Bill Belichick to try college football. I have no problem with the February because it gives you more time for a new coach to recruit.
Yeah.
These coaches are at such a disadvantage. Now, I don't feel bad for them for what they get paid and everything, but I don't have a problem with it.
And after the
I don't mind if
playoffs,
they just
and
make it December only.
yeah,
We don't
it's.
need 2 or 3 signing periods.
I just want the days where we used to sit on our couch and watch these kids commit in front of like that was so fun.
Oh, remember Timmy Jernigan?
Yes,
Yeah,
Timmy
like
Jernigan,
something like that.
James Wilder was the
Yeah,
best. Like
I'm
it
thinking like
was
the
so
signing day ones.
fun.
Like, yeah, it was the best. I would take the day off, and it was a holiday.
Me
I'd
too.
get
I
made
did it
fun of for
too.
it. I didn't care.
I went and bought an 18 pack of beer in the morning, or well, maybe the night before, and I'd sit there all day, drink my beers, be judged, by my family because I took the day off and drank
Yeah.
beer. But like it was fun. That was that's what you're supposed to do as a
Yeah.
football fan. That was it.
No, I'm all for it. I love signing day. It's never going to be the same again
It's never.
because it meant something. Once you signed that paper, you knew that kid was locked in there for at least
I
2
loved it. I
years.
remember
Now with
the
the kid
one.
on in a week.
Remember Alex. Oh God, what's his
Give me a
name?
time frame, I can get it. Alex
That
Collins, the running back.
Alex, the running back that his
He went to
mom
Arkansas.
like took off with it. Yes,
They took
that
off
was
with the
amazing.
letter.
Like all of this shit was amazing.
Yeah.
It was so fun. I mean, not fun for them, I'm sure, but fun for us to watch. Rest in peace. I think Alex. I think he did
Yeah.
pass away.
Yeah, because I was almost going to mention a Geno Hayes story, and I said no.
Yeah, I'm just saying, rest in peace. But like that was Landon Collins. Remember Landon Collins?
The safety?
Yes.
That was at the All-Star game,
That
right?
was at the Under Armour game.
Yeah,
But,
like they wouldn't.
then he
The
still
mom walked
signed
away.
on signing day,
Yeah.
and, it was just fun. It
Do you,
used to be
I know we're
fun.
dating ourselves here. Remember Antone Smith when he signed?
Stop.
Do you remember
I
that day?
love and yes,
Oh, great
no,
day. I'm just
yes, of
saying
course I
that
know.
day, like, yeah, I mean, Usman Crummo was the closest to it, but now it's just not. I don't care. If you sign a good class, I don't care. But the fact that I know they can be gone in a week, it's not, it just doesn't sit
Mm.
like it used to.
It's not as fun
There's some
anymore.
kids are in 2 or 3 schools before their like first semester. So I don't. It could be the same if it actually meant something signing that paper.
Right.
Now it means
Yeah.
absolutely nothing. In the
It
media,
means absolutely
we got this
nothing.
guy. They might be gone by the end of spring. Like I really think we upgraded the wide receiver position as a whole.
I
Like
agree.
I'm really excited. We got size at the position. Like we got like a basketball team out there. Javon Boggs, I'm really curious about.
I love that pickup. I think that pickup, if you didn't get him, that would have been a late signing day um
Yeah,
pickup by Georgia, Florida, Tennessee. I think the SEC was surrounding him. So I think that would have been the last day pickup if he didn't, sign on early
I,
signing day.
everyone thinks he's ready to come in and play right away. I don't know.
Absolutely.
If he didn't play the toughest competition in Florida, I understand if you can run around and catch a ball, like you're fine. But there's a reason why some of these kids come in ready to play because they played top level competition. That's why Crummo, as excited as I am about him, I know he's played tough people. Javon played 2A ball in Florida. It's not like
I
what
mean, I
this kid
get that.
played St. Thomas. I don't know if you heard of that school, Sean, where Jeremiah Smith went. He played top competition. I know
You mean Jeremiah Smith who's going back to Miami?
he's not going. Don't you say that. Jeez. Click. No. Click. Oh my God.
Sorry.
No,
I
when I was
had
at
to.
Ohio
I
State
had
for that game,
to.
like I said to them, I said, listen, he's from about 15 minutes where I live, and they said, I said to him, no offense, I think he's going to be a best receiver of all time, and they said he already is.
Yeah. I mean,
5, yeah. Oh, tiny head. Yeah, they're saying that he could be the first player to demand like $5 or $10 million, or I'm not playing.
oh, finally he comes back.
No, he's been here. He's just had to do his skincare treatment, and I respect his beauty regimen. No wonder why he looks so good on the show with you all the time, man. I
Right?
respect the hustle, man.
His skin looks better than mine.
Pause, tiny head. Pause, tiny head. I didn't mean it like that. But yes, he puts in the work.
Yeah. His skin looks better than mine, and that's fine. We'll discuss that later.
They are
But
awesome.
yeah,
Shane fans are
so
saying,
I
yeah,
think
they probably are.
what?
He says Miami fans are saying they're offering him $4 to $5 million to come back here.
Ooh.
But Ohio State has the bread too.
Oh. Look, Ohio State is going to keep that kid. He
Yeah,
has no interest in
as
going
long
back.
as Hartline's there.
Yeah.
I understand he won a natty, so he can say that he did what he was supposed to do there this year. And they have a new quarterback next year because Howard's gone.
We've got to get Brian Hartline out of Ohio State
It's
if
scary.
we want to keep wide receivers in the state of Florida. That's it. That's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. You know what I mean?
Oh, we
Like,
should have
that's
closed with
it.
that.
I had to. I'm
Oh, I
sorry.
like that. Yeah, no,
Look,
trust me, Stone Cold's in my top 5 of all time. Like,
I get it, but like, we've got to get Brian Hartline out. He's got to go to a
how many head
bullshit
coaching
school.
jobs has he turned down?
A million.
Yeah, that's crazy.
If
Because
I
I
were
was sitting there
Ryan
with some Ohio
Day, I
State
would
fans.
be sitting there going, "Is he about to stick this dagger in my back?" Like, I'd be watching out for that.
Who? Heartland?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
because
No.
he's got to be wanting to go somewhere.
I mean, he's making what 1.3 as a receivers coach.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
wild.
it's
And he takes any Florida wide receiver out that he wants. That's it.
but in their defense, if you put out, he can get receivers from anywhere. You have 3 receivers go in the first round 1 year. That's all you have to do is this. I mean, LSU had that with DBs
Give
for
me
a
a
while.
break.
Florida
Come
State
on.
had that. Like after Ramsey and Derwin, it seemed like we had our pick of DBs.
Mhm.
That's just how
But
it
we
is.
didn't.
We haven't sent receivers in so long. So
I mean, I
that's why
get it, but Heartline is
people really thought we had a
different.
shot at Jeremiah Smith. I still laugh at that, but
Oh my God.
I mean that was the biggest joke, and like there were media people predicting him to come to us.
That's insane. We didn't even make his top 2.
I know. They said they didn't learn that till signing day, and that's fine. I get it.
I don't
It's just,
believe that.
yeah. I just thought something might have been up when after he won the state title when he said, "Coach Hartline's my dog, and that's where I'm going." I was like, man, they always say that when they're trolling, but he's not that kind of kid. So
I think Brian Hartline even turned down the Duke head coaching job.
in Michigan State,
Brian Hartline has turned down so many things.
did he turn down
I
Michigan
think
State?
huh?
Did he turn down Michigan State too?
Yeah. I think Brian Hartline is if I were Ryan Day right now, good luck. Thank God you won the national championship game. Because
I was there.
I think that was the
The only way to
one
keep it
he
up.
now we might be able to get Brian Hartline out of Ohio State at this point.
I don't know. I mean, I was there at the Michigan game when they were leaving. Like they wanted to kill Ryan Day. Okay, I'm not saying literally. Well, maybe a
You
little.
can't, but I'm saying you can't now. You cannot get rid of him now that he's won the national championship game. You can't.
No. And even their media said that.
100%.
Yeah, if let's say they had lost to Tennessee in the first round, he would have been done that Monday.
But Tennessee got their ass whooped.
No,
And
I
it wasn't
understand,
even
but I'm
close.
saying if they had lost.
It was my most favorite game of the playoffs.
What's that game?
And you
No,
know how
to
I
me, it
feel
was
about
Texas
those.
Clemson. Yeah, I was at Texas Clemson and had a blast.
Oh no. Tennessee getting their butts whooped. And it wasn't ever close.
No.
This was the worst playoff game. By the way, I thought we were supposed to make interesting games on TV. I thought it was not supposed to be blowouts. I thought we were supposed to make room for, it wasn't supposed to be close, right? Isn't that what we were told?
Oh, by my Mr. Herstreet?
Mhm.
The hypocrisy of ESPN. I mean, that's another topic for another time. I just think it's.
Did you get the notification from Heather Dinich that if you
Yeah, I
wanted to
got
click
that. I
that?
got from her and like 3 other people who I can't stand there. And I'm sure they get paid for each person that hits that button.
I hate them.
I'm sure it's like subscribers, like on YouTube, like the more you get. She's the worst. At least Feinbaum has now admitted, I think I'm wrong, like Big Ten conference. Herbie still won't do that.
Didn't he just cry and then claim his wife? Now, okay, I'm not going into this.
Yeah, I'm not getting into it either. Pat McAfee asked him about that, and he said, "My son's on staff there, and my son's been through so much." So.
I just don't believe him. I think this is
he's
all
not
false.
sincere, so I don't know. He's very good at just playing the victim card when things don't go his way. So
I don't believe him, but I'm not going to go into that.
No point to.
Yeah.
But I've kept you on long enough. No, we could probably go another 3 hours knowing us with our reality TV and Florida State football talk. But I promise I wouldn't keep you all night. So anything, floor is yours. Thank you so much for coming on. Anything you want to add or say or?
No, I mean, thank you for having me on. And I think this is gonna be a good year. Like, let's beat Clemson.
What's your ceiling for wins? What's your ceiling?
For me,
I say 7.
if you don't get above 7, I think Mike gets fired.
6-6 in a bowl.
I think he's fired.
I mean, I don't know what our buyout situation. I think Alfred's in the hot seat too now. Would you agree with that?
No.
Okay, fair enough. And while I have you here, the one, the only Jen, do we get any good news in February, conference wise? I forgot where you've been in a
I
lawsuit.
don't think so, but I do think we're about to pick up a good recruit.
Who will leave us on signing day? Well, I don't know. It's a different staff now, so I'm giving.
No, that's the February 5th signing day. So you said February, so I
Oh,
said
I
a good
meant
recruit.
conference realignment type stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but no, I don't think you're gonna get good news in February. I think ESPN is. I don't know.
Oh,
I
I forgot
just
to ask you. I'm so sorry. Before I don't want to forget. So I guess there's a rumor now that ACC is coming up with a scenario. What they want to do is, if you win the regular season, you don't have to play in the conference championship.
that's to make Miami actually win one. You know this.
Is it really?
I mean, do you not think so?
I mean,
Hello?
that's a good one. That's a good point.
Like,
I should have known the troll was coming.
that is
I should
all.
have known.
You can't ask me these questions without like expecting
I
that to
know.
come.
I know. I'm getting quiet about Miami right now because besides the fact of the year we had is I think they got something up their sleeve with the portal.
I'll never be quiet.
No, and I respect that. I just think they have stuff up their sleeve with Beck and those guys.
They have nothing.
Receiver wise, I think they do. They've had some guys at the portal that I was really
What receivers?
I'm
They've
saying
all
I think they're going to
transferred.
have some guys coming in.
No, they don't. Carson Beck can't throw until August. Are we
Right. He's
being
out
for real?
spring.
For real?
He's out. No, I am. No reason not to be. I'm sure he's got some.
You're believing some on-3 dude that sits there and humps Mario's ass all day.
No, I don't care about that guy.
With his comments going, oh, there's going to be some big wide receiver. Nobody's following Carson Beck. If he wanted to follow Carson Beck, he would have been in Georgia, where they could have won something big.
That's true.
Sorry,
I'll always wonder
I'm
if
done.
Kirby kind of.
I don't. Come on.
I wonder what Kirby told Carson.
He told him to go to the NFL and get his shoulder fixed.
Yeah.
Nobody. Alabama and Georgia was not giving Carson Beck $4 million.
But how smart?
The only idiots doing that was Miami.
That's true. I have to give you your flowers also. I meant to tell you this. This is Jen's flower session. I should make a segment. You were right about Ohio State and Will Howard and kind of telling Cam Ward, like, we're not even taking your phone call.
Yeah. Told you.
That they needed a Will Howard type. That Cam was, yeah. So you called that a year ago at this time. I just want to give you your flowers.
A year and 2 months.
14 months ago, sorry. But Jen, thank you so much for coming on. Please.
Thank you.
Please do this again sooner than later, okay?
Thank you so
everyone
much
for watching. Tiny Hat, thank you. You need to come on sometime too. This is long overdue as well. Tiny Hat, thank you so much for chiming in, as always. Jen, give everybody where to find you.
Oh, the Renegade Report, and also the Renegade Roast with Tiny Hat as well. We have at Renegade Report with George and Deshaun. So join us on Tuesdays and Fridays for the Renegade Report and on Mondays for the Renegade Roast. Please.
Awesome. Please join her there. If you thought we were like wild tonight, you should see them on the Renegade Roast. So thank you everyone for chiming in. Jen, thank you so much for your time tonight. Seriously, we'll have to do this again.
Thank
Take
you.
care, everyone.